Howdy, 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 and thank you for joining me here on October the 4th, 2023, and welcome to another Car Talk. Tonight, we have our pal Clearwater Chad is joining us. How are we doing tonight, Chad?
Good, great, Paul. How you doing?
Excellent, excellent. What is that you have there?
Oh, I have the life-size David Miscavige available on the Blown for Good store.
Oh, is that the Davy Poopy Pants?
Yep, just got them, I think, yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, and if you will look right here,
You got one too?
he's hanging out on my guitar.
Very good.
So, and they can get those from the Aftermath store, correct?
Yep.
So that it was pretty cool. Claire had asked anyone who was doing any kind of SPTV stuff for the channels, any kind of content on that, get hold of her so she can get them out and try to get them. Basically, it's a great marketing tip and a trick, and it lets everybody see these cool new products that are coming out. I think it's hilarious.
Those are very nice and cuddly too.
Roscoe really wanted to get hold of it, so. If it wasn't for the fact I didn't want Roscoe to absolutely tear it to shreds, I'd give it to him just so I could videotape it for the channel. So, and tonight, following in the trend of the last week, we have a special guest with us tonight. So, everyone, please welcome our friend Denver Stevo.
Special guest. How you guys all doing?
So, how are we doing tonight, Denver?
Doing well. I just want to say a little bit of a pimp here. Denver Stevo will be giving away 5 of the Captain Davy Poopy Pantses between now and Christmas. So,
excellent,
nice.
Excellent,
yeah,
excellent.
I left mine downstairs. So,
Chad, you've seen the my picture of the Crack-a-Licka, haven't you?
Yeah, a while back. Yep.
Yeah, I did something for our old pal Mark Headley over there. You know how he's being accused of being the Crack-a-Licka all the time, and I was thinking about talking to Claire about doing that up as a like a Christmas ornament.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
just a little design I put together for him. So
salted, I hope. I hope the whole thing will be salted. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, we can, before I clear coat it, sprinkle salt on it, and then clear coat it, and it'll be clear coat it and then spray it on there while it's still wet. So yeah, that worked out really good for it. So let's see. Did we already have a question? That's a good one. Do any of you have an answer for that?
That's a Steve question.
Last I heard, it was what was the smell? I guess poo would probably be the closest thing to describe it.
Okay, I was gonna say, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, poo or rancid trash, but yeah, I'd say poo.
I'd say more like government subsidy checks, since they have no money.
Oh, yeah.
Since the church is spending all this money on these lawsuits and everything else, and making sure that Captain Poopy Pants has his awesome first class hotel style services,
right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
What about you, Chadwick?
Oh, I mean, I have to think, because you guys took the best. I don't know. I think maybe those are the first 2 best, but number 3, I'd say jet fuel.
Jet fuel.
Ooh.
Yep.
Why is that?
Because I had when I worked at FedEx years ago, unloading planes. At 4 a.m, you can smell that jet fuel.
Okay.
It's pretty raw.
Oh yeah, I know what it smells like.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot you're in the planes.
Yeah. My old man actually had he actually flew former fighter jets, and he had the MiG-15, T-33, L-39 Albatross, and then his last one was I think it was called the Seapacat Jaguar. But yeah, you get real used to that smell real quick. So, that's awesome, Ricky. I had ordered one also for so I could have it while I'm doing my lives. But if you folks didn't know, we have a new line of merch on the fourth wall, And I asked that instead of doing supers or things like that, you can either go to coffee and buy me a coffee, or you can go to the merch store and not just give your money away, but you're actually getting something in return. We have the Roscoe Approves mug.
I like it.
And also the Roscoe Approved T-shirt, along with a few other things. And I actually put the Explorer up on there for sale as well. I've had so many people have been asking me about it. So it's sitting on the wall, and it'll just make me go ahead and build a new guitar to take its place up there. So I saw how good they were doing with the Aftermath Foundation with Claire and Mark, and decided, you know what, I'm going to go through them, because the other company that I've been going through, I wasn't happy. They were taking huge amounts. Like that Roscoe T-shirt would be like $50 through that other company, and I'd get like $5 back for it. And I didn't like the quality that they were putting out. I've seen the Fourth Wall stuff, and I'm pretty impressed with it. So that's why I decided to go with them. And then everybody knows why I don't do the supers anymore, because I keep getting hit with all these community guideline violations. And people give their money for supers, and that never ends up showing up. After it's all said and done, I basically get a notice back, well, we're sorry that your supers haven't shown up in your monetization. Oh, well. So that
doesn't sound like they're sorry, Poe.
When you're that big of a corporation,
Yeah.
I guess you don't have to be.
We're sorry we're keeping your money. Yeah.
And I don't even look at it like that. I look at it, this is the folks who watch the channel. It's their hard-earned money that they're giving.
Right.
And, and they think that they're given because, like I said, every dime that I make goes directly back into the channel. It's new microphones, new equipment, new lighting, things like that. And, to see the folks' money go to support this huge corporation as it is, just doesn't make me happy. Let's see. Marjan, I don't know. Literally, what was it I did with you not too long ago, Chad? The live on your channel, the pre-show?
Yeah, did that get hit too?
That got hit too for a community guideline violation. Did you get hit?
No, never got hit with those. Nope.
Yeah. So I got hit with one on that one, and that was probably the least offensive video I've done. And then a few nights later, I had Vanessa on the channel, and there was a lot of vulgarity in that live stream, and which most of I generally don't, but I'm not going to stop anybody else if they're going to, if they're talking. That one hasn't been hit.
Wow.
So I don't know.
Interesting. Wow.
It is interesting.
But let's get to the important question. Denver, what do you drive?
My current vehicle is a 2008 Range Rover Sport HSE.
Is it really?
It is. It absolutely is.
That's cool.
Love it.
I don't know why you're acting all embarrassed. That's
it just seems gloaty, and it's one of those, I bought it pre-owned. It was just a beautiful vehicle, and I couldn't turn it down. It's this Arctic White.
Arctic White.
Yeah. If I was to go back and get another one, I would get the black on black with, so you essentially can't read any of the logos or anything, and it's all, shadowed. But this was what was there, and I love it. I mean, it's ridiculous because it has TVs. That's the boy.
Wow.
It has TVs for the backseat drivers. One of the early nav systems. In fact, this one still had the CD nav system, and then they moved to the space age one after that. It's got a little cooler in the front, so I can put like 3 cans of soda.
Oh, it's posh. Those Range Rovers are posh.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's just been a wonderful little vehicle. Look at that. It's even got the little sprayers for the headlights.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. The first the first big boy car that I wanted, and I never got it, but one of my cousins, older cousins, had it. I think it was the Saab 93 back in the early 90s, and it was one of the early vehicles to have windshield wipers on the headlights.
Oh yes, I remember that. Yeah.
And that was the only reason I wanted it. I mean, it looked cool, but I'm like, it has windshield wipers on the lights. I want that.
You know, and
Yep.
honestly,
And those were those. Oh, go ahead, Paul.
that's kind of how I look at things. I'm just like, I really go for unique, obscure, out of the way stuff that you just wouldn't see.
Yeah.
And I see that stuff and I'm just like, that's mine. That's what I want.
The Saabs are really unique. I don't know if you guys probably know. You got to put them in reverse, to start them, or something crazy, reverse or neutral or something crazy.
Oh.
And the I was going to say power button, but the key is like in the consoles, not where it should be.
Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, Marjan. Now I don't know who's doing it. It's just crazy stuff. They're driving me nuts with it. And now, have you seen this? I saw this when I was in Malaysia, and I just couldn't believe it was sitting there like that. A Land Rover Defender.
I was gonna say, yeah.
And that looks like an old girl to me. So that's I saw that and I was just like, that's so cool.
Wow.
And I had to get a picture of it.
What'd that be? Maybe early 70s?
I don't know. I'm looking at, if you look at the headlights, see how they're like the arrowhead headlights. They're like the rocket tip.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not I don't know if that's a turn signal or a marker light, but that's that kind where it's the bullet head kind of light.
Yeah.
You know, but I look at like and that could be aftermarket. The side view mirror there seems kind of newish for that, but everything else about it screams old.
Right.
Yeah,
especially. Yeah, and if you look here at the windshield, it's like the old Jeeps and the Willys, how they have that separator from the hood to the top to the bottom of the windshield, and you don't see that on your more modern cars.
Not at all. No, that's.
Yeah, I saw that and I was just like, oh, I'm so in love with that thing.
That's pretty.
Yeah, it's amazing the things that you see in countries like that, the diversity. I'm, literally I saw that the next day. I'm seeing if I can find a picture now. There's one I got to show you that's really cool. But the next day I was at a mall and let me see if I can find them. No, they're not in there. I was looking to see if they were in my Facebook. There was literally a Lamborghini SUV parked in front of a Ferrari at the mall. And I was like, what? Because you're in a country where most people, they don't have the kind of money for that stuff. But I saw this same day I saw that Defender. And you don't see a lot of these. That is a carryall of the Suzuki Samurai. And a friend of mine who collects the Samurai, he and I were talking. He said you only see those basically in Asia. They did export them to Australia as well. Okay, but they lengthened it out. It's the equivalent of a 4-door. On the passenger side, it has the door behind the driver's door there.
Sure.
And then it has the extended back section there, so it's like a carryall.
Wow.
And I just thought that was just the coolest thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Funny story. My first car was a 1987 Suzuki Samurai.
You can't stop those things.
Oh, I stopped it. That's the reason I didn't have it anymore. Yeah, I drove it right into the back. Rush hour.
Oh, yeah.
Stop and go. All of a sudden, boom! What had happened, and it was already a bit rusty. I bought it from a friend for like $800. It was dirt cheap. Pushed the front bumper all the way into the tires, and they're like, at this point, we'll just total this thing. I'm like, all right. So then I got a Mitsubishi Montero.
Mitsubishi Montero. I haven't seen one of those in forever.
Right. I think that was an 89 when I got it. It was after, it was in the 90s when I got it, but I think it was an 89 was the year. And just this nice little box. And I would drive that back, up and down from where I lived, about 3 hours north to the school that I went to, and
Yeah,
it was just it served me well.
those were cool. Was it a 2 or 4-door?
That was a 2.
2-door. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just trying to find a good picture.
Emerald
But
green.
we like to. I had a hard enough time finding a 2-door. So there we go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, minus all the cool stuff at the top. That was my box.
Nice.
Yeah.
and I mean, let's be honest. The gas prices were so low, it didn't matter.
Right.
You know what kind of mileage you got on them. So I had the.
I mean, I was a poor college student, but
If it got you around, that's all that matters. Up here in Michigan, they call them beater with a heater. So they don't care if they're fancy or not, just as long as it gets you where it's going. I did like you. I went with I had the 2016 BMW X3, and
Oh yeah.
like with you, I would go with the black if I got another one. It didn't matter what you did. That car always looked dirty for one reason or another. But I've never in my life had a car that was as versatile or felt like that one did. It was all-wheel drive. It never got stuck. And it was fast as can be. Top speed I got it up to was 153. And that thing, literally you put it in a sport mode and you could feel the suspension lower down on it. And it just literally grabbed the road as it was going.
Right.
So, and yes, I did that under controlled situation in a facility that was there that could actually test what kind of speeds we were doing. So before anybody goes nuts, but I've had some unique cars in my day. Of course, my first being the 69 Charger, and that was just, I had no idea what I actually had at the time. I knew it was the Dukes of Hazzard style car, and I absolutely loved it. My dad took it to a friend's body shop. It went from that baby puke green that they had, or baby poop green that Dodge put out back then, and it went to it was, this guy put so many clear coats on the black, it looked like you were looking into a bottomless pit, like filled with water. It was gorgeous. Beautiful. And then my father, because he wanted it and he thought he should have it more than me, he would end up going to work at night with it and not telling me that he was using it. Next morning I get up for school and I'd be like, why do I only have a quarter of a tank of gas? I had a half tank last night. But one night on his way to work, 2 kids racing each other came around a corner, forced him off the road, and he ended up rolling it down a hill. No. The only thing that was left from it that was even salvageable was the motor and the transmission. And I was just like, you got to be kidding me. So, yeah, it's I've always had unique cars. Before the one I've got now, I had a 1985 F-150 with the 6-cylinder in it. Mm-hmm. And I absolutely love that. But I mean, getting, 10 gallons to the mile was not very good. So those weren't exactly ecologically friendly, to say the least. No. You see your pal up there shaking his head, right? Nodding his head in agreement.
Well,
so somebody over here gets 50 miles per gallon. Am I right, Paul?
Well, it did have a battery in it too, so it was electric.
All right. Well, no, you're okay. Yeah. You used to have a hybrid. You said.
Yeah, we had. My wife had the 2004 Honda Civic Hybrid, and then she had the 2012.
Oh, okay.
And that 2004 was amazing. I remember I was telling you about it one time. I was doing. I used to do mixed martial arts promotions. I had my own company, and we were the first Michigan company that actually did shows out of state. So I was going down to get everything set for a show we were doing in Tennessee, and I took the wife's Honda Civic. I filled the tires up to 1 pound over what it said the max limit was. We hit the road, and I took a picture and posted it on Facebook. I was averaging 58 miles to the gallon on I-75 southbound. It was insane. We literally went down there, did everything that we needed to do for 2 days, drove an hour and a half over to Gatlinburg so that we could go. My buddy had never been to Tennessee, never been to the Smoky Mountains. So I took him over to Gatlinburg so we could go, he could see the Smoky Mountains, go over the top and everything, and drove it back. We got about 100 miles from home and I had to stop and get gas. So literally I drove that car all that distance for 3 days on a tank of gas. And
Wow.
it was insane. I mean, it didn't do more than 15 miles an hour, but you know, for the gas mileage, what are you going to do?
Right.
So
It's great gas mileage. What are your thoughts? And I think I know what Chad's thoughts are, but I'll ask you, Poe. These new F-150, these new electric F-150s that are out.
me personally, I like the fact that they're introducing the electric trucks. I mean, if you're not doing the long distance stuff, you're doing local stuff, or you know, you need a truck, but on the same hand, you don't need an F-250 or a 2500 or a 3500. Light duty kind of work. You just run into the hardware, moving stuff around your property. I think they're great. If you're going to be doing any kind of long haul driving, it's going to be, I don't, you know, that's where they're all limited right now.
Sure.
So are they still making them out of aluminum?
I don't know.
Because, you know, Chad and I were talking about it. A friend of mine he does custom body work. He was showing me he had bought this expensive, it looked just literally like a magnet block. It just looked like a block with a handle on it and a cord coming out of it. And I was looking at it and I go, what is this for? He goes, oh, let me show you. He had one of those new aluminum F-150s in his shop. He literally went over and put it up on the body panel where the panels were coming together, sat it there for a few seconds. You could hear it vibrating. It was literally vibrating and causing so much vibration. The epoxy that was holding the body panels on turned to dust, and he could just literally just lift them right off.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And I was like, wait a minute, they didn't weld that? And he's like, nope. He goes, they weld the crucial components, but these things right here are nothing more than just glued together. And I was like, I don't like that. So let's see.
No, I want more than glue.
Yeah,
My truck together.
I hope they come down in price. The F-150s seem like they're way too high in price right now.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to pull that up from Joel. The new F-150 e-vehicle is not selling good. The reviews are poor. A Ford dealer in our area has a bunch of them. I haven't even looked at them because they're just so expensive. It's not even something I'm even willing to think about.
Yeah.
Plus, you already know, Chad already knows. If I'm the next new vehicle I'm getting a. What am I getting, Chad?
Oh, Cybertruck, Bo.
No, we're not. No, I'm getting one of the new Ford Broncos. I want the old school style body. I want it 2-door and I want it matte black.
Nice.
I don't want any special stuff or anything like that. Let's see here. I had a Holden Monaro, which was a show car and daily ride, black. I couldn't stand it if it was dirty. What year was that, Ricky? So I can look that up. I'd like to see. Did you see this?
Oh,
Nice.
And
wow.
then
I love you too, Goldie.
followed up with that.
Of course you did. Can't control yourself around me, Goldie.
So let's see.
Boss mama.
You know, that's why I like the matte finish, Dylan, is with the gloss black. Yep, it shows up. If you don't dry it properly, you get the little what do we call them, water spots or whatever on them. What are your guys' favorites?
I think with black, it's so easy to spray paint over the rust.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point.
Trust me, with that Suzuki Samurai, that's what I did. Black's just a sexy color. I mean, and I agree. The gloss black, yes, it shows dirt, but you know, I guess I haven't looked too closely or close enough at some of the matte black finishes, but I could be convinced.
Oh, they're slick.
Are they?
Like with this was my 93 Fat Boy, and it was a high gloss. And every time I washed it, the way I dried that thing off was with a leaf blower, because it literally, like we were talking, it showed every water spot on it.
Yeah.
It was a pain in the Heineken. So, and after that, I was like, no more big chrome bikes for me. I'm going everything matte black.
Yeah.
And then this one right here, which was the last truck I owned, that was actually Chevy blue. And I just, I thought it was not a very appealing color. So I went and I painted that with a matte black, and it came out a lot better. I thought it looked a lot, I don't know what you call it, a little bit meaner, a little bit dirtier.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
nobody should buy Chevy blue.
I tell you.
I think people should buy green Priuses. Am I
Okay.
right, Poe and Steve-O?
69 Holden Montero. Okay. All right, give me a second here. All right, now Reefer Ricky, he's Australia, right? Monaro. There we go. Ooh. Oh,
It's
I
an
think we've
HK.
had this one up before. Trying to find a decent picture of one. I like these. They're I think that they're very reminiscent of a lot of the big American muscle cars. If I can find a picture that'll actually load.
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to do it? There we go. All right, let me shrink it down enough so we can see it. Coolness. All right. There we go.
Ooh.
Cool car.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
is
is.
it? Yeah. The front end reminds me of a Nova, but the rest of it reminds me of, like a Chevelle kind of. What were the little Chevy, the Vegas, almost like a Vega on the back of it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Wowza.
that's a nice. Those are nice looking cars.
It
I think-
really is. I like the smaller size too.
Yeah, yeah. It reminds me of, like, remember the Chevy 2s, which became the Novas, that were the square bodies that ended up becoming the Nova rounded body.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find a picture.
Yes, she is, Ricky. She is quite beautiful.
Yeah, that's nice. I like those. Let's see here.
And a right side steering wheel.
We can't, we won't hold it against you for handicaps. So let's see. When we were, what's interesting is pretty much there's a lot of countries that they use the opposite side steering. And I see it especially over in Asia. And what's crazy is you can go across the border. Thailand is steering on the right, and you go over into Cambodia and it's American style steering on the left.
Wow.
So
Hmm.
you talk about messing you up big time, especially if you're on a motorcycle. Oh my gosh. They, you have to stay to one, instead of driving on the right hand side of the road, you're having to cross over and do everything exactly opposite,
Right.
cross a border, and you're right back to the way you were. And you've spent a month and a half driving around the country the exact opposite way. It drives you insane. So, but that's the old, that's the Chevy 2s there. That's how they looked. They were smaller and, had a lot. I think it looks a lot like a Impala or a Chevelle kind of body style, but that's what ended up becoming the Chevy Nova. I personally, I had a 73 Chevy Nova, and that was an awesome ride. I love that. So, what's the wildest you've had, Steve-O?
2008 Range Rover Sport. Wildest vehicle? Yeah, I haven't gotten anything too wild yet. I mean, well, no. I was old before my time. I drove around a Chrysler Sebring convertible, and then all of a sudden I realized that like only grandparents were driving those, and I went, okay, I got to get rid of this.
Well, Chad
Pro-
only drove Lincolns and Cadillacs for a long time. So
Right. The car I had right before the Range Rover, the one that I actually traded in for it. In fact, I got it from a BMW dealership. I had a 325, and I mean, you know,
Wow.
it had some power to it. It was a nice, comfy car. It wasn't wild, but made me look good driving up to an appointment or something. So yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to find a picture of it right now. I've got a picture of one of Chad's high school cars.
You remember what the cars I sold you?
What's that?
You remember the cars?
Yeah. I just found a
Okay.
picture of it. There it is.
All right. Nice.
There it is.
He was getting ready to go to homecoming, and that
Oh yeah.
he decked it out. He put the crystal chandeliers up instead of the graveyard
Mm-hmm.
lanterns for the day. But let's see.
That's very
Mine,
nice.
I had the Dodge Charger, and
Yeah.
then I ended up finding a '78 Chevy Bronco, a Chevy Blazer, in the middle of a field, buried to its frame. I went up to the owner of the house, owner of the property, and I said, "Hey, what's up with that truck?" He goes, "Well, we were out there playing around and we sunk it. It's been sitting there for over a year." And I said, "You want to get rid of it?" And he said, "Well, if he goes, I tell you what, if you can get it out of there, you can have it." And I'm like, "Well, if I'm getting it out of there, I need to see that title signed." And he laughed and he goes, "Okay, buddy." So he went and got the title, signed it over to me and everything. Called my uncle up. He didn't realize my resolve. I went and called my uncle. He brought his backhoe over and we literally dug that out.
Oh wow.
At that time, I was helping. I had been working in the monster truck industry for a little while. So I I showed up at my buddy's shop where he kept all of his trucks and everything. He looked at it and he goes, "Well, it's got good bones. That's a good starting point." Next thing you know, about 2 months later, it rolls out of his shop. It's on 2.5 ton axles, front and rear steering, 44-inch groundhog tires. The 350 motor had a high rise with a dual Predator intake on it with a buzzard catcher for the air cleaner system, the big box style intakes on it. And man, I beat the daylights out of that thing. That thing just literally would just eat its way through anything you wanted to. We could be driving down the road and literally just turn off and go straight into the gullies and jump out into the field.
Oh yeah.
I got a few teeth got knocked loose from that. So I don't have L. Ron Hubbard problems. I have monster truck problems with my teeth. I've clinked them together enough. So I remember we had a kid we went to school with, very, very wealthy family. He went to some fly-by-night 4-wheel drive shop because they had the cool trucks out front and the skulls on everything. So they knew exactly what they were doing because they had skulls on all their gear. And so he ends up going to them. 79 Ford F-150. They put it up on groundhogs. It looked beautiful. The thing was that they used a body lift instead of doing an actual going in with re-arching the springs like we'd done with my truck, and doing a real lift, mounting points off of the frame, welding them on there with actual hangers for your springs and all that.
Yeah.
No, they just went ahead. They left everything the way it was and put about a 12-inch body lift on it. And we saw that thing come out. You could literally see the frame like that far underneath the body of it, and we're like, holy crap, that's not safe. And when we got up and looked at it better, they had used hockey pucks for the body mount points. I mean, they actually, if you're only going to use like 1 or 2 of them, they work great because they're very hard and they're very dense, and they work great as for the body lifts. The way we used to do them, we worked great. We'd always, if you needed to do a body lift, you could go pay $100 for a set of discs that you're going to put in there, or go spend $5 and buy a box of hockey pucks and drill them out yourself.
Right.
And but I remember we were out one night and we were all just going nuts with our trucks, and he literally lost control going down the road. He hit the guardrail and the body came off of the chassis.
Oh my God.
And landed about 25 feet out into the field. It almost killed him. And
Sure.
you know, but he was rich. He didn't want to do any of the work himself. He couldn't change his own oil. He couldn't change his own tire. You know, like with my truck, I literally, the guy that helped me build it, who had the monster trucks, he literally sat there. He drew things out and said, "This is what I want you to do. Get over there with the cutting torch and the plate steel and go make your own leaf spring hangers. Cut them out the exact way. And if I didn't do them right, he'd literally throw them in the scrap bin, tell me go back and do it again." And I remember getting angry. I was like, "Why are you doing this to me?" He goes, "It's your life. If you don't do this right, this could kill you. So stop being stupid and just do what I tell you to do." And, you know, when he said that, I was like, I can't argue with that. It showed me how to box in the frame so that the frame was stronger on the points for the leaf spring hangers and all that. And it was, you know, it worked great. The body rotted off long before that chassis ever stopped running. I sold it to one guy who did a lot of the mud trucking stuff. He had it for a few years. I sold it off. I mean, I'd say for 15 years after we finished building it, it was still going around, making its way around and off-road stuff. So, hey, Joni, how you doing? So,
Oh, hey, Johnny.
now, Chad, you were into the circle track racing, weren't you? NASCAR style stuff.
I wish, Poe. No, I never did any racing.
What about you, Steve? Were you ever into like the NASCAR stuff?
Into it. I enjoy it when it comes on the TV, but that's about as close as I've gotten.
There's my kid. Welcome, Liz.
Hey, Liz.
While we're on the topic, did you watch Liz's live stream last night, Steve-O?
I should say no, but yes, I saw it. I was unfortunately behind, so I did not get to see it live, but I did see it. It was a
You were a pretty big topic towards the end there.
I heard that. That was very sweet.
Liz, you still got that link in the Facebook Messenger. If you want to jump in, hop in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Liz was speaking very highly of you, very very loving and concerned. So
she and I were texting after it last night, and so,
okay, yeah. So I mean that shows you. I mean, you've got Liz and Vanessa. You know, they've come in. They went through a whole lot after their channels started, and has, you know, I mean, Liz has been going through enough as it is, and then everything else that's going on, but she looks at you guys like brothers, and you know, it's love and it's concern. I don't think I can.
Goodness.
My wife would be very upset.
As would hers.
Yeah, I don't think our spouses would like that, Liz. But yeah, she saw it after she put it up there. So Marjan, Liz Ferris, Bob, if you know the where's Save Bob Ferris, where's Bob Ferris hashtags, has her own channel, Liz Ferris. Awesome person.
Pokemon and cults.
Yeah, there you go. Pokemon and cults. If anybody can, if they could throw that link up there for her. But yeah, it pretty much taken her and Vanessa almost like my daughters. Yeah. And welcome.
Yay.
Hey, how is everybody? Sorry about the typo.
Oh, that's all right. When I saw that,
we're not.
I'm glad we gave you guys some comedy, because it's all about the comedy sometimes.
Yeah, that is, speaking of that, Friday night you're going to be joining me. We're going to be, you know, on the lighter side instead of all the deep dark stuff that we've all been dealing with as of late. We're going to do something that's light and just have fun with it.
That's right.
All
right. So I'm ready. Did you hear? So you ready for that conversation, Mr. Denver, now that we're face to face?
No.
Oh, by the way, this was not my intention, but it happened. So we're going to roll with it. So
sure.
So the idea was to be as amazing to you as you are to us. I wanted to do more of a lose weight for Denver. I got on the scale this morning. So did my wife.
Mhm.
I got quite a few emails saying that they're joining us.
You're starting
Wonderful.
a movement there, Steve-O.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
And
Well,
it's
I-
all coming from
we have
a
your
place
back.
of love. So
Well, it's very, I appreciate that. And yeah, you, like I said last night, I'm in. So let's make it happen. I weighed this morning too. I just have to convert from kilograms. These kidney places, they apparently they like the metric system. So
Yes, they do.
So I have to, I have to do that. But
wow.
yeah, no, yeah, let's do this. Let's drop it.
aren't
Let's all
weighing
make
in
ourselves
stone.
healthy and
Yeah, we'll get healthy. I love that it's car talk.
right.
Like, I love that it's car talk that we're doing this on, because realistically, I know I just hopped on and all that stuff and
Yeah.
told everybody from my channel to come focus on it. But what's your favorite car, Steve-O?
Well, wait a minute. You're new here.
Okay.
What
Mhm.
was your first car and what was your wildest car?
My first car was a Ford Mercury Topaz to piss off my grandma,
Man,
because they all had the brand new cars and the spiffy
Oh, yeah.
R logos and all that B logos on their cars.
What color was yours?
Mine was gold.
Gold. Oh boy.
It was the ugliest thing you'd ever seen, and you can hear it coming from like a mile away, and it didn't even matter. Didn't even matter. My flashiest car was a BMW Z3, and that car I loved.
That's pretty cool. That was those little ones with the big long nose on them and the
Yeah.
Yep, I know. what that is.
Nice.
So was that it? Like that?
Rounded a little bit, but yes.
Okay. Yeah, I hadn't I hadn't thought of one of those in forever.
No.
Wow.
My mom had the opportunity to get one of those
Mhm.
or a Ford Escort.
Oh, wow.
She went with the Escort. I'm
Well,
like,
they were pretty much the same thing, weren't they?
well, no,
Yeah,
this
they were
one was-
pretty close to the
but this
same
one was
horsepower.
bigger. The Escort was crunched back end. It had the hatchback at the time.
Oh, okay.
So so this one had more room. I'm like, why would you not go with more room? And she went with the little Escort, and then cracked the something and ended up with a Honda Civic after that. So yeah.
Yeah, at least a Honda is pretty good. I've souped up a few Hondas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Hondas are actually they're good cars. When we sold the wife's Honda Civic Hybrid, it had 285,000 miles on it. And I just saw Chad and I were talking about it the other day. I just saw it the other day driving around, and I stopped the kid and talked to him, and it's got close to 500,000 miles on it now.
Mm.
And
That's
it's still
pretty
going.
good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought of you too, Mr. Poe,
Oh,
a little bit ago.
what's that?
Even though I the spell check thing was totally unintentional. I got pulled over.
Oh, did you?
I did. I was listening to Amy Scobie and Blowing for Good on YouTube. Now, if anybody knows the newer trucks, you can play it on your stereo system.
Yep.
So no, you don't have to be watching it.
Correct.
And someone was yelling something at me, so I just kind of rolled up my window because I figured they were telling me to turn down my radio or something,
Oh, okay.
and I ignored it. Not even 5 minutes later, I was pulled over for road rage.
Wow.
Wow.
Road rage. And because he was pulling me over for road rage, he did see that my tags were expired.
Oh.
Totally forgot about it. That was my fault. I'll own it. My tags are very expensive this year, so it was a real stab to the heart.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I'm going to be as respectful as possible. Officer, I really was just listening to YouTube and lollygagging home. Like,
Yeah.
there was no road rage. Well, we have reports of you screaming at someone. Okay, well, what was I saying? Oh, that you were going to beat him up. Okay.
So was it a Karen that we're talking about?
I'm hoping so, because, when I talked to my wife and, my confidant, they were like, there's a good chance that you were tagged by a Scientologist person. And I was like,
Oh.
Hmm.
well, that's just rude. If you're going to make something up, make it true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, don't say I threatened you. Say that I blew a booger on you or something, or
Yeah,
Right.
make it a little better than that. At least
Yeah.
put some sauce
something
on it. Come on.
decent.
Yeah. Shoot. She tried to run me off the road. She, spit
Yeah,
at
just
me. Something like
something,
that.
something. But road rage, where I threatened to hurt someone, I was just like,
That's-
I'm not 18 anymore. But then at the exact same time, he does go, he was really nice about it,
Mhm.
because I was on that verge where your throat starts to choke up and you're about to cry,
Yep.
because I couldn't believe I was being pulled over for something that I haven't done in years. Do I have anger
Right.
issues? Yes, I do. Was it happening while I was listening to Amy Scobie? No, I was really paying attention to what they were talking about,
It's-
and thought I was being too loud for the guy next to me. And it didn't
Yeah.
even dawn on me. Oh my goodness, I could have driven by a Scientologist and they just reported me.
Well, it's and Joel says it quite well, about dash cams and recording stuff. He, my daughter got rear-ended on the highway, and the kid who rear-ended her said, "Oh, well, you pulled over in front of me, you changed lanes in front of me, and then hit your brakes." And she's on the phone with me, and she's like, "Dad, what do I do?" And I said, "Tell him, oh, by the way, my dad installed front and rear dash cams on my car, and it's all uploaded to the cloud. So we'll just go ahead and pull those up when the police get here." And so the kid's story changed really quick right after that. So
Yeah, I think I do need a dash cam now, because I was just
Yeah.
floored.
It sounds like
Yeah.
they're getting desperate.
you can get them for pretty cheap too. So it's
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
right now my goal is to get my registration taken care of.
Yeah.
Didn't
it's-
realize that it had been since April. So I was like,
Oh my goodness! Yeah, that's a
yeah,
little more than
I
that.
had no clue, because mail goes to a
Never
P.O.
taking his
box.
shoes off to count the months up. Look at that.
Did you
Yeah.
really just take that? That's amazing. Yeah, because I
Yeah,
did
you
that
go
too
like
as
that,
the cop
and
was
you
leaving.
Right.
Come
I'm
off,
all-
and he's just
I
like,
can't just do 7 months off the top of my head. Yeah.
Yeah, I literally did that too when he was leaving, and he's like, "You keep the ticket in your car. We'll give you a fix-it ticket because you were really polite." And I was
Nice.
like, "Well, I don't have
That's
any
good.
reason not to be.
Yeah.
You're doing your job, and you listen to the fact that I didn't do anything like that, and
Damn.
it was
They have to investigate it. In most
Yeah.
states, road rage is a felony now. So
Yeah.
it's it's not just a simple thing like I mean, even just like if you threw something at their car back in the olden days, it'd just be in the lines of an assault or an attempted damage to property. But now it falls under the road rage, and you're looking at years in prison for something like that. So get yourself a dash cam and make sure you're recording everything that you're doing.
I'll put
It's-
dash cam on my wish list, I promise. Because
Yeah.
everything that's not purchased, I'm gonna figure a way to purchase it. But
Do you have a Amazon wish list that's with your channel?
yeah, it's on my channel. I'll have to go in there. I'll probably ask you what's a better dash cam, because that's probably the best idea, especially if people are going to be reporting that I'm threatening them through a window.
Yeah. Well, you definitely want one that records sound and video. And then I would, suggest that it does through like a Bluetooth action through your phone, where it can actually record straight up to the cloud. So it can't just be someone can grab your phone or grab the dash cam and destroy it. Next thing you know, you don't have any evidence. So
Okay.
that way everything goes straight up. The ones I like are the ones that hold like a 30-second reserve of memory on them. And when you hit the button, or some of them, you can actually say start recording, and it goes back 30 seconds and continues from that point. So those are nice ones, because if you get into an accident and you say start recording, or it actually some of them feel the accident and literally start recording at that point. And so it goes back to where it actually has captured the accident as part of the footage that it has. So, those are kinds you're looking at, something like that. And definitely you want something that records both audio and video. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they make them tiny nowadays. I don't
They
have
do.
that small. I mean, like, smaller than a cigarette lighter. So
No, that's pretty cool, because I don't want it to destroy the ambiance of my beautiful truck.
it's,
I
so
was
what are
watching
you driving?
Toyota Tacoma.
Oh, those are nice. Yeah. What year?
2022.
Oh,
Yeah,
very nice.
2022.
Nice.
So Chad is driving the Cadillac Escalade Diamond.
No, that's
Series.
not Chad's. 2012 Prius plug-in, and it's green, just to piss off the people that don't like economical cars.
There you go.
And Denver, you're driving the Range Rover, was
Yeah.
it? Or yep,
Yep.
Range Rover.
That's cool.
I have a 02
I
Ford
didn't
Ranger.
picture you as a Range Rover, Denver. I pictured you as more of an El Camino.
Well, just because what I'm driving doesn't mean it's what I am.
True, but you know, like now I got to wonder what Poe's driving. I picture Poe in the not a Cadillac, lifted Chevy Silverado.
Nope, I 02 Ford Ranger, no lift. I for me, you know, because we have the courier service, I want to get better gas mileage. I don't want, you know, the lifted trucks. Number one, I'm going to be 55 next month.
Yeah, I
climbing
did
in
mine
and out
because it
of
was a
those things.
midlife crisis.
Yeah, it never was. I mean, that was my last monster truck I had,
I
and
love the police lights on top.
of course, I had those sitting in my
Nice.
garage, and I was like, "What am I going to do with those?" And I've got the spot. So I've been in the monster truck stuff for decades, but I never had the really lifted off-road trucks for my personal trucks. You know, with the monster trucks, that was the ultimate of the off-road stuff. I didn't. So in my personal life, I wanted something that was utilitarian and convenient. Except for my BMW and then the Lamborghini Diablo, I've never really had anything that was outside of that. So it's always been more of a utilitarian kind of thing, something that I don't worry about if I get a scratch on it or a dent. So what's do you have anything like a Lambo in your history there, Miss Liz?
No, the closest that I have is actually
Have a good one, Johnny.
I did have I did suck it up for a short period of time until I realized how much my insurance was going to cost, and I did have James Bond's vehicle for a little bit.
Which one would the
The new
Aston
one,
Martin?
the nice little Aston, but I got used, and I
Those
loved
are
that little
sweet.
thing.
Wow.
Oh,
And yeah, then I had to sell it because
yeah. Now, did they have the flappy paddles for the gear shifting and everything, or was it
Yep.
the?
had the
Yeah, those are.
that was hard to get used to. I can't tell you, it gave a whole new meaning to can't find it, grind it.
Oh yeah, yeah. What was funny was when my daughter's car got wrecked, they gave her a Honda. Was it a Honda Accord? I think it was. It had flappy paddles for gear changes. I'm like, how is a Honda going to have a flappy paddle system in it? It was automatic, but you could switch it over to manual and literally shift gears as you're going. I was just like, this is insane. This is a Honda. They aren't supposed to have these things. So let's see. Hey, Juliana, welcome.
Usually.
What a beautiful group of Thetans on screen tonight. There we go. So, and did you see I've got Davey Poopy Pants up here?
Oh, did you hang him too?
Yeah,
I've
no,
still got
he's
mine.
He's hanging off the hook for my guitar. Chad was kissing his. I don't know why he was doing
Yeah.
What are you going to do with yours, Denver? I got to keep it high up because if the dogs see it, it's
Exactly.
gone.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's what I was saying about mine. Roscoe, he wants it bad, but this is Claire sent it to me. I'm not gonna let him get at it. I might go and buy one just to video.
Yeah, I might buy a couple just so that we can see the tearing.
Mhm.
We'll have to do.
Yep.
We'll each have to do a video together, and then we'll just release it on all of our channels with a compilation of all the dogs tearing the
Yep,
Captain Poopy Pants up.
the Chihuahua going.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Roscoe does that death shake like a monster. He's something else. So let's see. So when is your next live, Miss Liz?
I have a live with Vanessa tomorrow. I tried to reach out to Denver. I was like, well, whatever time tonight works for you, because I wanted to hit him up for afterwards.
Oh, okay.
And I was going to be like, buddy, I've got emails of about 46 people
Mhm.
that want to join into the Lose Weight for Denver.
Yeah, and
So-
remember, Denver. Remember, this isn't. It's not calling you out or making fun of you. This
No.
is
No.
literally people who love you, and
No, I know.
you know. So this
No,
is
we
this
just-
is an awesome thing.
We want to
so.
do it with you. I
Yeah.
know, you know, trust me, I'm 43 years old. It is not easy to lose weight. If I have to give up rock stars, that's love, man. Because
That's love. I agree.
that is the nectar of the gods.
I agree.
You talking about the energy drinks?
Yes.
Liz? Oh my goodness!
Yes.
Did you see how many people in their 20s have had heart attacks?
I
For
go with the
drinking that stuff?
sugar free.
Wow.
Well,
I've
it's
already
not the
had a heart
sugar;
attack.
it's the caffeine and everything else in it.
Yeah.
People have literally had heart attacks and died.
Yeah, well, I already had a heart attack from cocaine. So, well, technically, it wasn't from cocaine. It was from being cold turkeyed off methadone. But,
Mm.
you know, I got to stay awake somehow.
Well,
Black coffee doesn't always taste good.
That's the only way I'll drink coffee. That's the only way I'll have it. I got to have my black coffee.
I do black coffee just because there's no extra sugar and creamer that gets-
I want to try
gets
the
weird.
Rifleman. That one. It's a military brand.
Oh, the Black Rifle coffee.
Yeah. Eventually, I want to try that but I don't want to die. And a friend of mine said it made him feel like he was on crystal meth because he drank it and then it was.
They do a really high caffeine coffee, and yeah, you pretty much you're ready to climb the walls after drinking that stuff. I'm one of those. Caffeine doesn't bother me. I normally I can drink a coffee right before I go to bed and go right
Me
to
too.
sleep.
I
Yeah.
can drink a Rockstar, but
Oh yeah.
I made a promise that I was going to lose weight for Denver, so I'm only allowed 2 a day.
Well, that's your first step is stopping that soda. Like I said, that I dropped probably 20 pounds just from stop drinking soda.
Yeah, and I don't drink soda.
There's
The
no
only thing I
soda
do
here.
is the sugar-free, Rockstars.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, it's just
I'm
That-
probably
that-
going to make
that's-
like a big batch of tea. You know, some the rose gold tea.
see, I've never liked tea. I mean,
It
being
depends. It
a
depends on
hillbilly,
what
it
type
does.
you have.
yeah.
Because remember, there's some types that are like,
Mhm.
ugh.
Oh yeah.
You know, Lipton's okay, but doesn't taste the best. I prefer British tea myself. Like breakfast tea is
Mm.
my go-to tea.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
But if I got to give up, the caffeine drink, then tea will be the replacement. And because I don't drink it with sugar, I have
Oh, yeah.
0 sugar in my tea.
Well, I'm one of those people. I get up in the morning, have a cup of coffee, start my day. My wife I think she was talking to a doctor, and they were telling her, don't start your day with a hot drink. Start it with a cold drink to start your metabolism going better. And I started doing that, and I realized that suddenly I was having a lot more energy throughout the day just by starting it that way. You can have a hot drink after the cold drink, but you started off with a cold. And I was amazed at how much it was like, oh, I'm ready to go. Let's go get stuff done.
Absolutely.
With that hot coffee, I'm like, no, let's wait and let me finish this and then we'll get going. No, I had instant energy from that. So, and
So-
Steve, go ahead.
So what I was thinking, like, now that we're talking about like all this weight loss stuff, like I've got a prize card that I'm willing to put up. I mean, it's a prize card to me. Okay.
Mhm.
And this is between any of the YouTubers that want to join. Okay. So I'm going to put this card up to go to the winner. And anybody that knows Pokemon,
Oh yeah. I'll have to ask my kids. I haven't played that in so long. I don't even know.
it's one of the top 3.
Oh, is it?
It's- Yeah, it's one of the top 3. It's a big card.
Did you see that card Post Malone paid $2 million for? The Magic
Yeah,
the Gathering card?
I don't have that kind of.
Oh, good Lord.
No. Yeah, he paid
Yeah, it's
$2
called the
million
One Ring.
for it. Yeah,
Okay.
the One Ring.
Mhm.
Let's see here,
But
Joel.
if you win, Denver, I will send you Venusaur.
Well,
What you think
And
about
I'm
that,
thinking
Denver?
like I might lose like 5 pounds, but
Yeah.
if you beat my 5 pounds, Venusaur is yours, and if not,
Yeah.
you might have to send me a Denver pillow.
Give me just a second. I'm going to go grab something.
What's fair is fair.
I'll throw into the
Fair
pot
is
as
fair.
well. That's pretty rare.
Because realistically, you have turned into a brother. Like, you've been there for me anytime I needed help. Like, if anybody doesn't know, when you need help electronically, because some of us grew up in a cult, we're not that. Some of us are not that understanding of what are the. Some of us are just not understanding. So I reached out to Denver, and he's like, you know what? Absolutely, I'll help you. And he helped me get the Amazon wish list. He helped me get the coffee thing, and then helped me set it on my page so it made it clickable. And
Wow.
so that way people would stop saying, oh, it's in your description, but it's not clickable. And I'm like, oh, crap. But I did see this. What are the weight loss rules? May have missed them. There's no weight loss rules.
Lose weight.
The best thing is we're pretty much getting healthy for Denver, and for every pound you lose, or if you don't want to look at it as pounds, you can look at it as centimeters, you can look at it as inches. Either which way, we're doing this as we're doing this as a team. Marilyn's doing it because we all want to support our brother who needs to be here in the long run. If I have a big wedding ceremony or renewal of marriage vows, I need you to be able to be here. That's just my opinion.
Deal.
And then once we get healthy, we can, go from there.
That's right.
And if you beat me, I'll give you my Venusaur.
All right. I think Venusaur is a better deal than just a pillow. So I'll have to think of something. I'll have to throw something into the pot as well.
Hey, and that's completely up to you. Ooh, what has he got? Ooh.
I don't know. I was hoping he was going to grab the Rampage game, but I think he's got clothing instead.
Oh, I'm giving away that game. No. Well, I've got a couple things. I'll let the winner make their decision. But the first one is this was from 1993, I believe it was.
Wow.
It's the tour T-shirt for Gravedigger for that year.
Gravedigger, Sunday.
I've got another one, but unfortunately, it is locked away right now. It is a T-shirt from my first truck, my Nightbreed truck.
Ooh.
I'll have to pull it out and get some pictures for you. But there's also the campaign.
I like that
T-shirt
one.
from my state representative.
Oh, yeah.
campaign.
I'll rock the goldenrod.
Yeah.
I'll
And
look
this
pretty in
one-
that.
There were only like 30 of these made, and this one is a 3X. So,
Nice.
but
Well,
yeah,
hopefully that'll be nice and baggy on me.
there you
Yeah.
go.
Because
Yeah.
once we lose all this weight, it's just going to be like, that's so sexy.
That's right. That's right.
And that's the thing is that I was like, this shirt right here is a 2X, and I couldn't wear it for the last probably 2 years because I put on so much weight.
Right.
And when I'm down, I think it's 85 pounds total now. So now I'm able to wear 2X shirts. Oh, I've got a whole closet full of shirts I haven't worn in years because I couldn't get in them. So it's nice to be able to do it.
Yeah, I lost a whole bunch of weight and threw away what I called my fat clothes. And then COVID hit, and half the fat came back. Like, it went for a little vacation for a little bit and decided that it was done vacationing and it was time to come back.
Amy Delp, what are the weight loss rules? May have missed it. So
there hasn't been any rules. I'm challenging Denver using a Venusaur. You're, Pose using a T-shirt. I'm sure Marilyn will figure something out. Maybe one of us will fly to him and take him to dinner. I'm sure my wife would love that.
now I'm not going to take part in it because I've already lost a huge amount of weight. I don't know how much more I'm going to be able to throw down. But here's
the thing, and that's why I tell people that are already healthy, if it's not about it's not about how much weight you lose, it's about how good you feel about yourself.
Right.
So, and we're doing this over a 2-month period. And if you feel better than you've ever felt, that's a win.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. It's not about, it's about you and your partner being happy. That's the big thing. And I definitely know that. Is there a time frame on when is this
We-
going to start and all that?
Well, I started this morning. I even had a salad for breakfast.
Okay. Now, do they need
So-
to contact you to?
They can
join in
email
with it?
me. I've got a list of emails. I've got them all noted down as to who's doing it, and they just have to keep themselves accountable.
Excellent.
And then, once a week, not every single day, because that is very unhealthy to get on the scale every single day. But once a week, get on the scale and see how you're doing. If once a week is too much, then get on the scale every 10 days. But either which way, even if you lose a half a pound in that week, it's still good because you're getting healthier than you were.
Right.
Yeah. And that's, it's a big thing. And it comes down to, it can be very simple things bring this about. With me, it was, I lessened my portion sizes for my meals. I started eating less every time I sat down. I noticed that I wasn't wanting the big portions anymore after a little while, and then just got up and made myself move. Liz knows, Chad knows, my body has been through horrendous things. And for me, some days getting out of bed is just a challenge in and of itself, but I just make myself get up and move. And when you start moving, that's a nice thing when you're a fat boy is that once you start moving, it's hard to stop it. So, I just got up there and started doing stuff and knocked it down. My goal was to get to get to 250 or under, and I've made it, and I feel great. I can't believe the difference in how my joints feel, how my knees feel. My hips don't hurt like they used to. My left thigh doesn't go numb while I'm walking around. And those are and you hear that from everybody who starts gaining weight like I did. Suddenly you start feeling numbness in your thighs and things like that. So it's amazing when you don't have those feelings anymore, and it feels great to not have to worry about it. So
Right. And for me, it's like I've played sports my whole life, and then I stopped playing sports because my shoulders start, like, if you sneeze wrong, it started doing the,
oh yeah.
and it would just pop out all on its own. And it became like a party trick when your elbows like down here, your shoulders down here, and you're like, look, it's like Lethal Weapon. It became a party trick, but then my knees started doing it. And, when you start to sound like a Rice Krispie treat, at that point, it may be time to lose weight for, with Denver.
Right. And the night, what is also nice about it is, and just like doctors have said as I'm talking to them about losing this weight, the thing is that you can do it at any point of your life. Any kind of loss like that, as long as you're doing it properly and you're not losing like 30 pounds a month, that kind of weight loss is so healthy for you. And big thing is getting up and moving and getting like the liver fat and the fat around the heart, start breaking those things down. And that's those are the real problems, is the fats on the organs. So I mean, I've been fortunate. I have, my body is, if I start lifting weights, doing things like that, I build muscle mass ridiculously quick. And I've always been a big guy, so when I start doing that, and then the muscle pops really easily for me. So that's always, but once you start getting that fat down and you start seeing the muscle in there, like seeing the veins on my biceps again, that was crazy for me. And
I wouldn't mind seeing a muscle or two. Like would I love to see my six pack I had back in high school? I'd love that. I'd love that.
Ooh.
But let's be realistic. I can't get my weight back to high school weight. I am too old. But what I can do is my best for my brother.
Yeah, I was 295 in high school. So, playing football.
I was still in the ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Barely holding on to 150.
I can't remember if it was last night or what we were talking about. My biggest was back when I was competing in MMA, and my walk around weight was 325.
That's just nuts.
That was my max.
But I had 23-inch biceps. I could bench 420.
Like, did you look like Eddie Hall?
I I know the wife has some pictures stuffed away somewhere. I just I had the, you know, like the popped pecs. The gut was nice and narrow, but I wasn't 6-pack cut. You know, the big, huge arms. You know, I didn't look like a bodybuilder, but I looked very muscular. And that was, you know, it was, I didn't realize how much damage I was doing to my joints at that point because what is it? Muscle weighs like 3 times what fat does.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, I mean,
So that's
I was
why it's
huge.
easier for inches.
Yeah, for me, when I like with my police uniforms, to get them to fit around my biceps and my shoulders, I had to get like 4X size, and then they had to tailor them down to fit the build of my body, because otherwise it looked like I was just wearing a balloon. But but then break your back when you're that size and see how quickly it all turns into just fat. And that's the bad stuff is that if you can't keep up that daily regiment like that, and like with me, you know, I went from working out daily, running every day, trying to keep myself in the best physical shape I could, and then breaking my back and being unable to work out for 2 or 3 years. It literally all went straight to the stomach, and that was not fun at all. Let's see, trying to see. Oh, Creepy's here. Hey, Creepy. She's saying hi to the Chadster. Chad, how'd you like the thumbnail for tonight?
Oh, I like it a lot.
Yeah, we
Very
I
nice.
love how you do your thumbnails. People always comment me, but I love how it looks like there's blood splatter on your words.
Oh, that's
Like I need to learn how to do that.
What is that? That is it is Pixlr, Pixlr. I'll put it in the chat there. It's a free Photoshop kind of thing that you can use, and that's one of their standard fonts that they have.
Wow,
Oh, cool.
It is nice.
Yeah, and they have pre-made templates for like YouTube thumbnails and Twitter and all those. They're pre-made thumbs that you can go in and modify them any way you want to. And that particular font, it should be on there. I like that rugged looking font. Let's see.
Pixlr.
Oh yeah.
Bjornherd is what it's called. Beornheard is the name of that font.
Well, I'll be going on to that one.
Yeah,
Real
it's real
soon.
simple. Literally go to Google YouTube thumbnails, and they'll show you all different kinds of styles and all that. I like really bold looking kind of images for my thumbnails. If it's anything to do with SPTV, oftentimes you'll see either big blue in the background and it's faded out to where you can tell it's there, but it doesn't take away from the main images. Or I'll have one where I actually split big blue in half and put that in so it looks like it's being broken. So that's that's great stuff.
Put some fire in
Goldie,
it,
I'm not using the Creator Spring anymore. I use the fourth wall now, hon. Let me see if I can find that link. Let's see. I really like the fourth wall stuff.
Mr. Chad, I feel like at any moment, Davy Poo Poo is going to be like,
Hey, howdy, my neighbors.
because you got him so close to the mic. It's
Howdy, oh. I'm Mr.
Maybe.
Hanky, the
Maybe.
Christmas poo.
He's a cop. He's a pocket miscavige in my pocket.
I'm looking at
He's
all
little.
the stuff he's got back there.
Yeah.
So let's see. Chad, what was the wildest car you had?
I know it's hard to believe I never had any wild cars either, though, Paul.
Really?
I had I told you on one of the shows I had the 94 Lexus.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like it because I was in my 20s too, but I still considered to be, I always drive conservatively. And I know you would never do this, Poe, but police officers did pull me over a lot in that car.
Oh,
And they always asked me, only car, it was red Lexus. They asked me if I had drugs in the car.
wow.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah, it's but knowing you know, who knows? You probably had some creosote or something like that in the car. You know, Chad gets into his own way that most people don't. But yeah, I bought a wrecked 99 Lamborghini Diablo and rebuilt it. Got a new title for it and everything, and ended up selling that. It was just between the insurance and everything else for them. It was way out of line for me. I had gotten it for a wing and a prayer. I got it for next to nothing, and it took a couple of years to put it back together and get it up and running. But I couldn't afford the insurance. The insurance,
Yeah,
alone
because
was
the insurance on sports cars and classic cars
costing.
is astronomical. It's more than a mortgage.
Yeah. And when you think about it, the 97 to 99 Lamborghini Diablo, the average price on one is in the $200,000 to $500,000 range. You take one that has a rebuilt or salvage type title, and it's not going to go as high. It's going to go 85 to almost 200,000, depending on the quality of the build. So, the insurance company, they don't look at, oh, it's a rebuilt title. No, they look at, well, it's a Lamborghini Diablo, so we're going to, value it out at the highest point that we can. And so that's where they base the insurance off of. And you can't just buy like PLPD or basic liability insurance. No, it's got to be full coverage. So yeah, it was I just couldn't afford it.
Not to mention, Poe, I'm sure the parts cost outrageous on those, right?
Where I was fortunate is a friend of mine has every model of Lamborghini from the Countach forward.
Okay.
And he had a 98 Diablo that had been hit in the back. Mine had been hit in the front. So I literally went over there. I did a lot of work for him and did a lot of stuff. Never charged him for it or anything. I just showed up at his shop one day with my toolbox in the bed of the truck and said, I'm coming to take what I want. He's like, okay, go ahead. So, it didn't cost me that much, but after that, if I needed anything, it was going to cost, ridiculous amounts of money.
Yeah.
It's like we were talking about the motor that was in my garage that just went out, 572 cubic inch Chevy crate motor, blown, alcohol injected. This thing's got a dynoed at 1,720 horsepower. And
That's the type of engine that makes your car go.
Oh yeah. Well, Chad and I were talking. I had at one point I got sponsored by Ford SVO, and they were giving me a bunch of parts for my monster truck. And while I was there, the guy who ran the shop's like, hey, do you want an engine? And I'm like, I'll take anything you give me. And it turned out to be a 533 cubic inch Ford Hemi, the NASCAR style Hemi block. And it had an Endurley buzzard catcher alcohol injection system, 1172 Littlefield supercharger. And this thing dynoed at over 1,800 horsepower. And I went from having a 468 cubic inch, it was a standard big block Chevy. I took that and bumped it up, 454, bumped it up to 468 cubic inches, alcohol injection, maybe 600-700 horsepower, and put it in my truck. And that went from that horsepower to 1,800 horsepower overnight. And
No, I'm good. That's the truck I don't want to get into.
oh, it was
Same
insane.
here.
I was telling Chad about it. My first run with it, when I hit the lift hill for the set of cars, I literally I just nailed it. And that truck lifted and it cleared 8 cars side by side and went about another 30 feet before it landed. And when it came down, it lawn darted. So the frame hit the ground, not the suspension, not the tires. The frame was the first thing that hit the ground and literally horseshoed my frame. Yeah.
Yeah, that's total.
Oh, it was a good one. It knocked me out. So, that's a good solid hit right there. So that's how we, in the monster truck world, that's what we call it. Yeah. That one stung me. That means that it knocked the breath out of you or something like that. If it was a good hard hit. And that one, yeah, they said I was probably a good 25, 30 feet in the air. And then it just started coming over and just literally lawn darted.
See, that just reminds me of like 2 movies. Like all of a sudden you're being chitty chitty bang bang because that car just flew.
Yep.
Or is it Grease? And then all of a sudden the car just flew.
Yeah. And I'd never, you know, this was the early stages. We'd gone from full steel bodied trucks with super heavy frames underneath of them, big, huge axles, trucks that were weighing 17, 18,000 pounds. All of a sudden, we're going to these tube chassis trucks with fiberglass bodies on them, lighter axles. And so like mine came in at under 9,000 pounds. And then you put 1,800 horsepower on top of 9,000 pounds. We shaved the tires down. They would come in with 6 inches of cleat on the tires, and we'd shave them down to 2 inches, and you'd pull 400 pounds out of a tire just by doing that.
Okay.
So,
Again, it's that the car is meant to fly.
oh yeah. Oh, it did. And that's when I ended up, I ended up getting building a new one, because that one was, I completely destroyed that one. I was able to save the axles and a lot of components, the engine and things like that. But I ended up building a whole new truck just because it was just, I had to do it. And I was making good money doing it on the side. So what are you doing, Chad?
He's got weak legs, Bo.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, he does.
It seems to have weak legs and a weak back.
he
So
does.
yeah, I don't understand. Maybe they
He's all
modeled
talk.
it too much.
And he
after
goes
the-
Yeah,
right
it's
down.
all
He goes
talk.
like that. So I mean,
Yeah.
really weak.
It's interesting how, he just bends over right in front of you like that. That's
He's
interesting.
operating.
So,
He's operating in a diminished capacity.
See, and I would make a joke. It'd be the gay.
He's a very weak person.
yeah, that's oh my gosh. I find it just hilarious how, for years and years and years, you never said anything bad about someone who was the head of a religious order, and now it's just like joke of the day kind of stuff. So, and by the way, I'll have you and Vanessa can be the judges on it. I'll start doing it. We'll give it a month. Got to have folks send in the absolute worst dad jokes that they have.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I am down for that. I am down. Yesterday with Marilyn was off the hook. I had her laughing.
That was good time. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes most of the time you're hearing really sad stuff out of us, or you're hearing real life experiences,
Yeah.
or we're trying to let you know how to love us. And then sometimes you just got to smile.
Right.
Yep.
And that's the thing is
Yeah.
that's why I thought, what, Friday, let's just do something light and easy and just have fun with it, because we're so serious about everything that we do. But Chad will tell you, it's the least watched of all of our content, but we absolutely love doing the car talk. It's so much fun. We don't have to worry about any of the other garbage that's going on. We don't have to worry about how stressful everything is. Just have a nice quiet evening, just talking about stuff. We don't, doesn't matter if we talk about it or not. The world's not going to end tomorrow.
And,
Correct.
and
That's right.
we Poe and I talk about cars before the stream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's totally okay, because if I had if I honestly had a chance to talk about cars, Eleanor and I would be having a love affair. And that is my car.
Yeah.
She just doesn't know it yet.
What's the big stuff you guys got coming up for your streams here?
We do mental health checks tomorrow.
Mhm.
I was gonna, try to again convince him so we can talk about it, but now he knows, and now he's on board, and now he knows what the prizes are.
That's right.
There you go.
Because we got to stand for the brother. But
Oh yeah.
that's it. And I have my live with you on Friday, and then I have a live with Poet on Saturday.
Well, that's got to be
Yeah.
confusing.
Yeah.
Poe and Poet.
Right,
Yeah.
Poe and Poet.
Yeah.
You know how many times I have boo-boo both your names? It's like sometimes like you'll comment and then he'll comment, and I'm like, "Hey,
Yeah, I
Poet."
saw that. Yeah.
I do that.
I was like, "Oh,
I
They're just-
spent a lifetime being called John Doe, Joe Pope, Joe Poe. So I'm just
Poe.
like, it don't matter to me. Just call me Poe. That's the easiest way. So yeah.
Popo's in the house."
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Denver, what do you got coming up?
So in 5 minutes, I
Yeah, I was
have
about to say.
I have Xenu Nation coming up. Nice. Speaking of light and fun, we get to tear Osa a new one more time.
Excellent.
Tomorrow, I'm actually doing an interview with one of our SPTV chat contributors by the name of One Tough Chick.
Okay.
She is going to be talking about her challenges with chronic pain and utilizing a service dog. So,
Oh, awesome.
yeah, so we'll be doing that tomorrow, and then Saturday will be another Xenu Nation, and that's all I know so far. Hail Xenu! Thank you, Creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Chad, what do you got coming up?
We have the one thing Denver Seal forgot to mention because these guys so busy with other projects. We got Saturdays. Oh, I know it's a few days away. Saturdays with the Nerdy Bunch.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I have because I'm pretty busy this week.
We're building into to Halloween with these next few Nerdy Bunches.
It's my favorite season of the year. Halloween.
Absolutely.
Right.
I think it's
My house is going to look like a
yeah.
bloody, scary museum soon.
I'm having a heck of a time. I've been working with pumpkins on the laser. I'm carving pumpkins with the CNC the CO2 laser. I can't get them to blow up. I've been trying and trying and trying. I can't figure. I think we're just going to have to go out with a quarter stick of dynamite and just put it in one and blow it up just for the footage. So
If you take the Piccolo Peeps and you take it apart and then you draw a string out of his mouth, they blow up. 2 Piccolo Peeps for a normal 25-pound pumpkin.
Oh, there you
Pull
go.
a Gallagher on it.
yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Remember
I should
that?
make my own. What did he call that thing? The Vegematic?
Did he? I
Yeah.
forgot. Just a
Vegemite,
long
Yeah,
time
the big
ago.
Vegemite
sledgehammer.
or something.
I
Yeah.
remember what he did
Yeah.
though. Yeah.
Let's
Now
see.
I kind of want a Molotov cocktail, a pumpkin.
I got to be careful because I got the Metro Park behind me. If I do anything and burn that Metro Park down, boy, I'm gonna be in trouble. So,
Yeah, we can't have fires here either or anything like that.
Oh,
So I'll
yeah.
just have to go to like somewhere.
Chad
I'll
gets
figure a
to go up
parking
in the
lot.
mountains.
I'm not trying to start a fire.
Chad does all of his satanic rituals up in those mountains by those falls he keeps taking us to. He
That's
does-
Mhm.
secret stuff,
Never
but I
been telling
can't really
anybody about
disclose
that
that
stuff.
either way.
Shame on you. We and let's see, Sunday night I have Russell Miller is coming on.
That I'm excited about.
Oh,
Not that I'm not excited
well,
about everybody's, but I'm excited about that one.
Yeah.
It's
You'll
not
see me in
Sunday
the
night.
comments.
It's Sunday. It's going to be Sunday afternoon because of the time change. He's over in Britain. Plus, Russell's over 80 years old. So I'm not doing it on my time. We're going to do it on his schedule.
Okay.
Especially with the fact he does so few interviews. And to get this opportunity, I'm like, I'll bend over backwards. You want me to do it at 4:00 in the morning? I'll do the interview then. Just get this interview in. But
Yeah.
that's going to
Yeah,
be
because they are
amazing.
8 hours ahead.
Yeah. He's and he's the author of over 15 novels, but yet he did one on Howard Hughes. He did one on very notable people, but the minute he did one on L. Ron Hubbard, whoa, the things that started happening after that, just absolutely ridiculous. So
Yeah.
I got to thank Karen Delacarriere for helping to set that up because for me, that's a major step. And then next Sunday we have Mark Bunkers coming on.
Yes.
So,
Nice.
I've been really fortunate, and things worked out in my favor with Bunker because the guy's so busy. It's hard to get him. He does so much on his own, but he's running for re-election, and you know how it is. Get it out there any way that you can. Any kind of publication that you can get is positive publication. So,
Hey, if I lived in Florida, I'd be voting for him.
yeah, in
Absolutely.
Clearwater. I saw something really, really interesting. There's a billboard right down the road from me on I-94, and it shows a man and woman sitting on a beach looking out, and it says, "Come on board, Clearwater, Florida." I thought that was really interesting. I don't know why they would use that as a come on board. Why?
Yeah, I'm not
just-
really sure about that one because that just gave me the Scientology heebie-jeebies and
Yeah.
made my butt pucker.
And that's what I was thinking. I was like, come on board. There's nothing that there is a boat that's
Mhm.
not too far from there. So yeah, that so I'm going to get a picture of that. I'll throw it up in my community tab.
Yeah,
I just saw
'cause
that and I was like,
it's all
crap.
about. Come on, everybody, come on down and join the fake Navy.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Everyone's making fun of Scientology. There's a new roofing company in Buffalo, New York. Their name is Roofologists.
Really?
Yeah.
Study of roofs. Okay.
Yeah. I'm serious. I
Yeah.
wanted to get a picture, but it was in a really busy area.
Have you seen there in Toledo? There is a Church of Jesus Christ Scientologist or science, Christian Science reading
Christian
rooms.
Science. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that one because I went into one because I wasn't understanding what it was, and I walked out real quick.
They literally have a sign out front
Wow.
that says, "We are not Scientology."
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's
Yeah.
funny.
you know, a lot of people are asking about, when things are going to happen. Things are already happening. So many organizations are literally joining in the fight. They're disassociating themselves. They're distancing themselves from anything to do with Scientology. So the fight is making headway.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
they're running out of money. Think about how much they're paying out just to fight all these lawsuits they've got going on right now.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that there's going to be a bunch more that are going to come on top of it. So, folks think, well, nothing's happening. Yeah, it's happening. It's just we're not seeing it. I think that when it finally collapses, it'll collapse internally, and it's not till it actually goes to ground zero that they were going to find out that something happened in Scientology because they closed the ranks so much.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Right. Hey
No,
guys,
they
I got to
closed
run.
all
right.
right, Denver.
See you
Thank you for
guys.
joining us, bud.
Thank you all.
I'm gonna head out too. Everybody, I
All right.
love you guys.
All right.
I've got to
Love
go
you too,
watch
hon.
his live.
All right.
No.
Aw, thank
Alright.
I
you.
will talk to you guys soon.
All righty.
See ya.
Thank you for being here. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Always.
Oh, Mandy Gonzalez is here. And if you guys don't know Mandy, she made the fantastic the ornaments that you can use. You can see one hanging from underneath my Telecaster there. That's the SPTV one. She also, she did the one for Mike Render, and she actually did one for my logo, which it's up there. It's out of frame right now. I have to get it back down, but she does awesome with that stuff. And Joe Pinto, my buddy, your mojo, put your link to your YouTube channel up there, Joe. Joe is an awesome guy. Make sure you get over, check him out. He does some great motivational and uplifting videos. A lot of personal thought and insight goes into it. Joe, we appreciate you. Thank you for joining us, bud. And Mandy says, hi, Chad. And is it Corinne or Kareen? You know what?
I think it's Kareen.
Yeah, the thing is I see her in all the chats and always say hi, always just a really nice, wonderful person. But there's a lot of people. The only way I know your name is I see your screen name on the list for the chat there. So it always, and I tear people's names to shreds. I don't mean to do it, but that's just, how it is.
Unfortunately, me too.
Kareen, isn't Kareen from Brazil also?
Yep, she knows Juliana Bittencourt too. Yep.
Excellent. Yeah, but Juliana's not really Brazilian.
Oh, I thought she was.
She is. I'm joking.
Oh,
It's just
You had me there.
no. I was just going to start some crap, but
Oh, okay.
you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, back to the world of what we were doing. Chad, have you ever seen the inside of a NASCAR?
Not really, no, Paul.
Okay. So, I'll give you an idea. When folks think about, like racing and all that, they don't realize the amount of work and effort that goes into them. Now, this is a NASCAR spec build from a few years back. But if you look at that, I mean, the amount of work and engineering that went into that thing is ridiculous.
Oh wow. Yeah, I never knew that.
Yeah, they're I believe that's 1.75 inch diameter tube and right around, I think it's 1/8 inch wall on it.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, and it's not like it's something you can just cut and weld together. You have to, if you'll notice all of like here, if you're looking at the cage section here, there's a lot of bent tubing there that they piece together, and then you have to notch that tubing to match the diameter of the tube itself before you can even weld that stuff together. And the frame, if you look at the frame, the way these frames are made up, they're made so that if you get into an accident, they'll literally crumple.
Okay.
So that they're, you know, and it's all designed for safety of the driver. And it's crazy. Let's see. She says, okay, question. Yeah, Joe, we've done a bike talk before, but yeah, we're always open to everything. Just throw out what you want to know or what you want to talk about. And yeah, you know, as a matter of fact, Joe, email me this week and let's get you in for next Wednesday's car talk, and we'll do another one on cars. So yeah, my buddy Joe, he's, like I said, a real good guy. Really appreciate him. So when you're thinking about that, think about monster trucks and how their chassis, frames, and all that are made up. You know, and this is a good example. So this is made by a gentleman named Dan Patrick. He has the monster truck called Samson. And he is notable within the industry because he builds pretty much the top of the line type chassis. There's a lot of builders out there who build some great stuff, but Dan's the most well known, and he has the most actual turnkey trucks that have been built. He did almost all of the trucks for Monster Jam for a few years there. So what you got here is predominantly 2-inch diameter, which is OD, outer diameter. And it's either 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch wall there. And believe it or not, that just the chassis, if you were to take everything off of it, just have the frame there, that weighs about 2,000 pounds by itself. So give you an idea just how, you know, these are big trucks. Let's see here. I'm trying to find another one here that would really fall in with that. You know, because I've built a number of them over the years. You know, you've seen a ton of the pictures of all the different trucks I've had and everything. Yeah. But yeah, there's so much work that goes into these trucks. You know, and someone was asking about, you know, the tire pressure in your tires and how that affects everything. Well, one of the things I learned in being a in the police academy was how if you go out in your patrol car, if the tires are under or over inflated, how they affect the handling of that car and how dangerous that can be for you. So, you know, that's one of those things I've always been kind of a real stickler about, that is making sure that my tires are, you know, at the proper pressure, because, you know, if you're carrying your family with you, that's precious cargo, and you're taking a chance on everybody's lives, not just your family, but everyone else that's on the road as well. So that's why I'm always very cautious about it. And Marjan was asking about why I had put so much air pressure in the tires on the Honda Civic Hybrid. And that was because with the, you know, I knew that if you kept them at the recommended rating, that it would do really well. Let's see, I'm looking. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Joe. Yeah, just shoot me an email this week, and I'll get you the link and everything. You can jump in with us next week. Like I said, he's awesome guy. Awesome guy.
Oh, good. I could put another face to the names, you know.
Yeah.
We keep seeing all these great people every week, but you know,
and you see a lot of them. They don't have a picture. They have like a piece of artwork. You know, Goldie. I'm Goldie's good people, and you know, she actually let me put a picture up of her one time. So, you know, she's very much, and you know, she tries to keep her privacy. So, yep. And Joe, I have an air gauge in my truck and on my bike, and you know, I do too. I'm trying to find, you know, Chad, do you keep like an air compressor in your car?
I was just gonna say I do keep a good quality air compressor in my car because I don't really want to, unless it's a big hole in your tire. If I
Right.
have a flat, I just want to be able to fix it when I'm on the road.
Well, I carry and if you look back through my video catalog, it shows me taking the tire off of my zero turn and fixing a hole in it. I carry a repair kit with me. I carry a floor jack, a small floor jack. I don't carry, like my big 5-ton floor jack that's 4 foot long. I don't carry that. I carry just a standard small in-car floor jack that I think is a 3-ton floor jack. Carry the tire repair kit, a small. I got it there's a place around here called Ollie's Bargain Store, and they buy, like, if stores are going out of business, they buy their catalog of inventory that they've got, and then they put it out through their store network. So I found one. It was called a Dragon, and it was a 12-volt, plugs right into your what used to be the cigarette lighter plug, but I think they just call them a power outlet now. Plugs right in there. It's not the strongest in the world, but it'll get you up to where you can get down the road, at least get to a gas station, put air in it. And then for everybody, the wife, the kids, all that, I always put together a winter emergency kit for them. And if you go to someplace like Harbor Freight, they have like the old ammo can type. They're plastic boxes now, but they're called ammo cans. And they have a soup can full of rock salt, a soup can full of sand, and I also put in there a number of candles. And here's the thing: you can put if you're stuck in the snow, you can literally throw either the salt down and help to break up snow or ice to get you traction. You can throw sand down, which also helps you get traction, or you can use a candle at the back of the car, and that helps to melt the ice and the snow around it. Or if you're trapped completely, a little candle, and I'm not talking like birthday cake kind of candle. I'm talking about stick candles, and you get one of those and you have that going in the car that can literally give you the heat you need to keep you alive. I always tell them all, keep a blanket in the car for the winter time. If something happens, you slide off the road into a gully or something like that, and you have no way of getting out. It's heavy snowfall. We do courier service. So the wife and kids are out sometimes after midnight doing the courier stuff. You slide off the road and no one sees you. No one knows you're there, and you're going to have to spend the night there. If the car shuts off on you, you need a way to be able to keep yourself alive and keep yourself warm. And, I also tell them they need to keep, some kind of snacks, some high protein stuff like that can save them. We all carry water in our cars. That's instead of, stopping and paying $3 for a bottle of water, we buy a case of bottled water, 24 bottles, and we pay like $3 for that. So, what do you do for your car for wintertime?
Unfortunately, not as much, but I do have some of those rations. I took it out because I needed the room, but I do usually try to carry the water and, like I said, the air pump. But the other stuff I'll have to get on that, especially being in Buffalo here.
Yeah, because you get Lake Erie snow effect, don't you?
Yeah, we get a lot of snow. Sometimes 6 feet.
Have you seen the lighthouses in Grand Rapids during the snowstorms?
No.
Oh my goodness!
Let's see.
I'm pulling up right now.
Oh, okay. Take your time.
Yeah, it's insane. It's made news worldwide with these things. Trying to find a good one here. Yeah, that's a good picture. But yeah, they get that horrible lake effect there as well.
Okay.
We get 6 inches of snow here. They'll get 3 feet, but that's what the lighthouse looks like.
Wow.
In the wintertime. So, when you have the mist coming off the lake, and they're off of Lake Michigan, so they get a lot of wind effect as like you would down in Florida or something like that. Mojo talking about he doesn't have to worry about the snow. I can't remember when was the last time it actually snowed in Florida. So yeah, you got that. and there's another really interesting, let's see, try to find it. Okay, here we go. In northern Michigan, they have this really strange effect that happens. I'm trying to find a good photo of it because this stuff is like I said, it's crazy when you actually see it.
Yeah.
Come on now, there's got to be there we go. That's good. Got to be a good photo of it. And they people who live in those areas, like 1997 was the last time. My goodness, the people who live around there, they've seen this ever since there were people living in that area. But they every year, and I've seen the Hummer EV. You got to remember living around Detroit. All these companies, they do all their testing and everything on the roads around here. So what they do is they put these crazy checker marked kind of, I don't know what you call it, vinyl wraps on vehicles going down the road. And so we saw the new Hummers when they were just testing them before they'd actually hit the market or anything. And they're crazy cool, but I ain't paying that kind of money. I think they start at like $100,000.
Yeah.
Oh. But this is up by Traverse City, Michigan, off of Lake Michigan. And so what happens is with the effect of the waves coming in and out, and as the water's freezing because it's a freshwater ocean, as the ice forms, it's tumbling back and forth and picking up more and more ice and sludge on it. And literally you get millions and millions of these ice balls that wash up on shore. And some of them big around as a small pumpkin. They're huge, and this happens every year. And it's one of those things like unsolved mysteries kind of thing. But that's literally how, stuff like that. It's crazy. The city that I worked in as chief of police, Luna Pier, they had the problem every year where the ice would build up on Lake Erie. And if the wind was coming in westerly, most of the time our wind travels west to east. But if it somehow changes and comes back westbound, you can literally see 10 feet of ice piling up on the shore behind people's houses at the back of their yards. And it's just, it's crazy stuff. Let's see. Oh, your husband's got a F-450 dually. Yeah, you guys are pulling a big camper though, aren't you? That's when I had my barbecue truck, had my barbecue catering service, this is what I used. This was my trailer, 28-foot trailer, big heavy thing, but my F-250 diesel pulled that like it was nobody's business. So you gotta have something pretty good if you're pulling it with a 450. Have you seen one of those, Chad?
Not in a while, no.
F-450 dually. Oh my goodness.
I've seen 350s, but not 450s.
Oh yeah. Well, that's when you start getting up into the
commercial grade, isn't it?
Yeah, it's almost commercial grade. Yeah, they're right there. You can find those on the commercial grade, but they're monsters. They're big trucks. There we go. I just don't have a use for one. I would love to have one just simply for the fact of what it is. There we go. So that's an F-450 Super Duty.
Wow, that is huge.
Oh, they're a monster. And Hada, is it 4-wheel drive or is it a rear-wheel drive on that? Those are those are great. Mine, I don't know if I have a picture of mine or not. My old F-250. I had a 2004 F-250, and it was a a great truck. I loved it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I'll be able to pull it up now. But there she is. Wow. That was my 04 F-250. And you can see our old camper, our RV beside of it there. But that had the 6.0 diesel motor in it. And what I did was they had a real problem with those. It was called the EGR. It's the exhaust gas return system. For some reason, someone thought it was good to take the exhaust gases and push it back through the motor for some reason. So they came out with these kits that called exhaust gas return. I put that on, took all the exhaust gas system out of there, and it improved my gas mileage. I put a 4-inch exhaust with no muffler straight off of the turbo, straight out the back of it. That increased my gas mileage. I went from like 8 to 12 miles to the gallon to 15 to 20 when I did that. Plus, this was 4-wheel drive, and you got to have a 4-wheel drive here in Michigan in the wintertime. I can get away with it with my Ranger being 2-wheel drive, but if you're doing anything like we were doing with the barbecue trailer, you needed 4-wheel drive just to be able to get around. With me, I'm just going to put huge blocks in the back of my Ranger so it gets traction in the snow. So
Nice.
what do you do there? Because you guys get that horrible lake effect snow there. How bad is it for like the Prius?
Well, usually what I do, and I didn't yet, I run pure snow tires, like good quality snow tires.
Now it's illegal to do it anymore. Back in the old day, we used to take sheet metal screws and screw them into the tread, the top of the tread on the tires.
Oh, okay.
And you got great traction going down the road with those on ice or anything like that. But you had people that would leave them in after all the snow was gone, go up on the highway, and all of a sudden they're spraying everybody's car with screws.
Wow.
So yeah, I was it's just crazy stuff. So all right, well, we're heading up to 2 hours here, Chad. Got a bunch of stuff to do. The wife got her new computer in today. I've got to go and set that up for her. But had a good time tonight. Great seeing Denver come in. I didn't want him to say anything until after it was time to go, so we had a little bit of a surprise there for you.
Excellent.
But yeah, let's see. You're thinking about getting a Kimbo camper with an F-350. Let me see what Kimbo camper. Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about. Now those are cool.
It is cool. That is something that I'd like to get to someday as an RV.
We've had a few different ones. We started off with the pop-up campers, pull behind pop-up campers. Then our next one was we went to it's called a hybrid, where the main body of it is like a standard camper, and then the ends of it fold out like a pop-up. And we did a lot of camping with that. Absolutely loved that. Then we went to the big RV, and the RV was initially, I got it so that we could haul the barbecue trailer behind it, because we were doing a lot of stuff that were 100, 200 miles away from home. So you go out there and you spend, the drive time to get there and then set up and everything like that. When you're done, do you really want to pay for a hotel or have a camper that's right there on site where you're doing everything? So we got that, but it just didn't work out that way. And we were fortunate that we were doing pretty much every weekend up near family, so we could go stay with family while we're there. It was just a lot easier on us, and we really enjoyed that. So, all right. Well, Chad, as always, I had a real fun time tonight. It was great getting Liz in here in Denver. They're pretty much, it's all becoming family nowadays with this stuff. And folks, if you didn't know, Sunday I am going to have Russell Miller, who is the author of the book The Barefaced Messiah, exposing Ron Hubbard, L. Ron Hubbard. This guy, when he put this out, the amount of backlash that came on to this guy is truly amazing. And what is really, to me, the most disheartening part of it all is this guy, he's written over 15 novels. He's a professional author, and other novels. He went after Howard Hughes. He went after other people, exposing a lot of stuff. It wasn't until he went after Hubbard that life really got crazy. And I'm not going to go into it. We're going to let him tell his story and the things that he went through in dealing with that. So, Chad, do you have any closing comments for us tonight, sir?
Good question, Paul. No, I had fun, Poe, and like I said, we're going to be on the Saturday the Nerdy Bunch for anyone who wants to watch that.
Excellent. And then you'll be on with me Sunday night.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's gonna be great.
we can't do a Sunday night without having you there. So
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
but really, everyone, thank you for spending your precious time with us. It's like I said, these generally are the lowest viewed content that I put out, but it's almost always the most fun. It's lighthearted, it's friendly. We don't have to worry about all the other stuff that's going on. And believe me, I with the stuff doing with SPTV and everything like that. Yes, I love doing that. But we all need a break from time to time, and this is the kind of breaks that really help us get through the rest of the week. So, the rule: life is short. You get one shot, so make it count.